Want to learn how to remove an item from a list by value? Want to learn how to sort a list permanently and temporarily? Don't know how to reverse a list and find its length? If so, stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Learn Python. In the previous lesson 9, we looked at how to modify existing items in a list, how to add new items using append, insert and empty starting list, and finally how to remove items using del and pop. In the current lesson 10, we will learn how to remove an item from a list by value, how to sort a list both permanently and temporarily, and finally how to reverse a list and find its length. So far, when removing items, we used positions like index 0. But sometimes you do not know the position of the item, and sometimes you only know the value itself. For that circumstance, Python gives us the .remove open brackets, close brackets method. Type this: motorcycles equals, let's go with Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and let's put Ducati in there also. Then print motorcycles. And now write motorcycles dot remove. Let's put Ducati in that space and print motorcycles. So we're expecting 2 lines of output here. Let's run it and see. In the first line of output, we can see Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki and Ducati. And in the second line, we see the same list with Ducati removed. So what happened? Well, Python looked through the list, found the value Ducati, and removed it. But this is different from what you learned earlier, the del and pop methods. With del, you removed by position. With pop, you removed by position and kept the removed value. But with remove method, you remove the value itself. And that is very useful when you know what you want to remove, but not where it is stored in the list. Now let us make this slightly more practical. Type the following: 2_expensive equals Ducati. In the next line, type motorcycles.remove and place the variable to expensive. Then print motorcycles and also print the F string using the new line A in curly braces to expensive in title case, and finish the string with is too expensive for me, and run the program. You should see the list without Ducati in this line. And then the message should say, a Ducati is too expensive for me. This is useful because the value is removed from the list, but you still have it stored in the variable too expensive. So even after removing it, you can still talk about it, print it, or use it somewhere else in your code. The important note here is that the remove method deletes only the first matching value it finds. So if the same value appears more than once, remove will only remove the first one. Now let's move to part 2, where we'll learn about organizing a list. very often your list will not be in a neat order because maybe the user entered values in a random order. Maybe your program collected data while running, or perhaps the list just became messy over time. Python gives us several ways to organize a list. And this is important because some tools change the original list permanently, and others only give you a temporary sorted view. And this distinction matters. Let us start with permanent sorting. Type the following: cars equals BMW, Audi, Toyota, and Subaru. In a new line, type cars, and let's use the method called sort. Then print cars. In the output, although the list says BMW, Audi, Toyota, and Subaru, we see Audi, BMW, Subaru, and Toyota. This is important. The sort method changed the actual list. It did not just print the list differently, it changed the order in the stored memory. So if you print cars later again, it will still be in this new alphabetical order. And that is why we call this a permanent sort. You can also sort in reverse alphabetical order. So, beside where it says cars.sort, you can, in the brackets, type reverse equals through. And let's go ahead and print cars. Now we can see the output: Toyota, Subaru, BMW, and Audi. So the reverse equals true still changes the original list, but this time it stores it in reverse alphabetical order. Now let us take a look at temporary sorting, because sometimes you want to see a sorted version of the list, but you do not want to change the original order. And for that, Python gives us sorted. So let's print the following. We have cars, BMW, Audi, Toyota, and Subaru. Type print, open brackets, here is the original list. Under that, write print cars. In another line, print here is the sorted list. And print sorted cars. And third and finally, let's print here is the original list again. And print cars. Let's run this to see what happens. So the three outputs here, the first one says here is the original list, and we can see BMW, Audi, Toyota, and Subaru. And now we can see the sorted list: Audi, BMW, Subaru, and Toyota. And here's the original list again. So that means that sorted does not change the actual list. It only gives you a sorted version to use in that moment. And this is a very important difference because sort, open brackets, close brackets, changes the original list, while sorted leaves the original list alone. Now let us look at the reverse method. Type the following. Let's keep the variable cars with BMW, Audi, Toyota and Subaru. And below that, print cars. In a new line, write cars, and let's use the reverse method and print cars. Running the program, we can see here BMW, Audi, Toyota and Subaru, and below that, Subaru, Toyota, Audi and BMW. This is important because the reverse method does not sort alphabetically. It simply flips the current order of the list. So whatever the order the list is in, reverse flips it and turns it around. That means that the reverse is different from sort. The sort method arranges values into order, and the reverse simply flips the current order. Now, let us learn how to count how many items are in a list. For that, Python gives us the len method. So, using the cars variable, let's print, open brackets, the length, len, of the cars. And run this. Here you can see the number 4. And that is because there are 4 items in the list. This is also very useful. You will often want to know how many values are stored, how many users there are, how many scores were collected, or peradventure, how many items remain in a program. And this len method gives you that answer quickly. Now, let us look at a very common beginner mistake. So, print the following. Motorcycles. And let's assign Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki. Then print motorcycles, open square brackets, 3, close square brackets, close brackets, and run the program. What do we have here? Well, we get an error. Why? Because the list has 3 items. We have index 0, 1, and 2, but no 3. And this is one of the most common mistakes when working with lists. It happens because people naturally count first item is 1, second item is 2, and third item is 3. But as we've learned in previous lessons, Python starts counting from 0. At this point, your list skills are getting much stronger. Now you can change items, add items, insert items, remove items by position, remove items by value, sort lists, reverse them, count them, and avoid common index mistakes. That is a big step forward. Lists are just not something that you read anymore. Now you can properly manage them. And that is exactly what happens in real programs. Before we finish, here is a short practice for you. Create your own list with 4 items. You can use foods, cars, games, countries, or anything else you like. And your task is to do these 5 things. First, remove one item by value using the remove method. Second, print the list in alphabetical order using sorted. Third, print the original list again. Fourth, reverse the original list using reverse. And fifth and finally, print how many items are in the list using the len method. Pause the video, and after that, have a look at my example and compare it to yours. How did you do? So that ends today's lesson number 10, where we learned how to remove an item from a list by value, how to sort a list permanently and temporarily, and how to reverse a list and find its length. If you found that video helpful, as always, please do leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel. And join us next time in lesson 11, where we will learn what a loop is and also how to work in loops.